Yeah, that 2-2 draw against Ipswich at Stamford Bridge on Sunday did not go down well at all, with Chelsea fans. Enzo Maresca, of course, coming out afterwards, criticised the home atmosphere, the home environment, as he called it, after that draw. What do you make of Enzo Maresca so far this season, Ali? I mean, he started off brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean, had a great start. And to be fair to him, he kept reassuring everybody that they were never going to win the title. He certainly got that bit right. I think it's been a little bit concerning, the drop in form. And it's been a kind of synonymous with Cole Palmer. Actually, form dipped a little bit as well. He's been absolutely outstanding, and his form's dipped a little bit. And it's, as I say, the team suffered a couple of poor results. Well, a couple of draws, Brentford and Ipswich the other day there. I mean, they've got a couple. I think you and I spoke yesterday. They've got some tough games in the running as well. I think the Champions League places are just going to be beyond them. And we mentioned it yesterday, Jeff. Once you start falling out with your own fans, there's only going to be one winner there, and nobody. He seems to. It was a kind of strange thing. I actually agreed with what he said, but I thought it was a kind of strange road to go down. You know what I mean? I think he was just trying to say that, the team play better with the fans support and all that stuff, but it sounded a little bit critical of the fans, and you can't be doing that.
Well, let's get a view of one of those fans, shall we? Joining me in the show now to have his say, the host of Chelsea Fan TV, Alex Harris. Morning, Alex.
Morning, Alex.
Morning. How are we doing, guys?
Yeah, good. So
doing well, mate.
How do you respond to Enzo Maresca's criticism of the environment, as he puts it, at Stamford Bridge?
He creates environment. So if he's not happy with the environment, it's because he is the problem. And the problem, actually, you know what? Let me go back a little bit. It's not just Enzo Maresca. It's the people that hired Maresca. It's the people that hired them. It's the ownership. It all stems from the top, doesn't it? Because you say it's cheeky, for Maresca to call out the fan base, but he's being cheeky because he knows he's not going to get sacked, and that's my opinion. And I've been very critical of this manager, but I think he's almost unsackable in a way. Not because I think he's any good, but we've sacked so many. Who's going to take this job that has any pedigree if they don't believe they're going to get time to implement their ideas? Potter didn't get time. We sacked Tuchel before him, Lampard and Poch. So Maresca, we've downgraded again and again and again. And I think we're just stuck with him, to be totally honest with you, whether we get Conference League, Europa League, Champions League, or even no European football. I just don't see him leaving. That's honestly how I feel.
What do you think, Alex? Because I've got to say, I think at the start of the season, myself included, I was impressed with Chelsea. Palmer was flying. They looked, certainly a young side going places. And I look at them now, and I wouldn't even say they've kind of stood still. I think it looked to me as if they've taken a couple of steps back. Is that fair?
This team is going backwards under this manager. That's the reality. Players are getting worse. The team is getting worse. We're less entertaining. The fans do not feel connected to the players on the pitch. Our best player from last season is regressing because of the way the manager wants to play. I think that Palmer would be much better on the right-hand side like he was last season, because what he was able to do last season was drag Chelsea through those tough games and win games on his own because he was in a position to score goals. Now he's constantly surrounded. He's not got enough movement and quality around him to make things happen. We're asking Palmer to constantly create, and he does that, but we don't have enough players that can put the ball in the back of the net. So even if he's doing his job, we can't necessarily get the results and the end product. So I think that playing Palmer as a 10, it was always interesting. I was okay with it at the beginning of the season, but hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? And I think that if we would have played Palmer on the right from the beginning of the season, that could have allowed us to get more game time from João Felix. Maybe he could have had more of an impact on the season. The same with Nkunku. We've constantly played him as a striker. Maybe that could have had an impact. I mean, look, this is all if, buts and maybes. The reality is I could list you 100 things that I don't like about this manager. He doesn't know how to pick a goalkeeper. The style of play makes you want to fall asleep every game. If you've got a pillow, bring it to Stamford Bridge. The midfield has improved. I think Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo have been good. He picked a centre-back as a right-back when he had 3 right-backs on the bench in the last game. We had Josh Achimpong, Reece James, and Malagusto, and he still decided to play Chalobah.
You're not happy, Alex, are you? You're not happy.
Jeff, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Honestly, at times I feel like, this is meant to be a Premier League elite side, and we have a gaffer that's done nothing in the game. He's done nothing.
What about
Enzo Maresca's achievements, except for scraping the Championship with the best side? He scraped it.
But Alex, could he be right about the environment? It does happen, doesn't it? If the atmosphere is toxic at games, it makes it more difficult for players to perform.
Oh, what a load of nonsense. What a load of nonsense. Just like after the Brentford game, he criticised the weather. It was sunny. Like, not everybody has to deal with the sun. And what is wrong with this manager? He hasn't got a foot to stand on. Look, even the CV, I think, is important as well. You look at Maresca and you say, with any other top manager, if we had... Let's just imagine we had Jurgen Klopp, all right, and we were asked to trust this process. Like, we could look back at what this manager has done and we could say, you know what, fair enough, you need a couple of years, you've proven yourself. Maresca he couldn't last at Parma. Leicester fans weren't even that upset when he left, and he just won the Championship with them. There's obviously a reason for it, and now we're stuck with this guy. And the reality is, with the sporting directors as well, they won't sack him, because if Maresca gets sacked, then they get sacked. So we're in a position now where people know the standards have been lowered at this club, but they accept it because people's jobs are on the line. They want to get paid, blah, blah, blah. And as Chelsea fans, you need to accept that we are not. In fact, you don't need to accept it, but this is the reality. We are no longer a winning club under this ownership. We are no longer a winning club. We don't have owners that want to win. We don't have directors that are capable of hiring people to win. And the manager is just bang average. I mean, he's not even a Premier League quality manager. Forget Chelsea. He's not even a Premier League manager.
Alex, don't you go sitting on that fence, will you? Look, we've run out of time, mate, but thank you very much
Alex,
indeed.
I hope you feel better after that, mate. I really, really do, pal.
I could go on forever.
Cheers, Alex. Thank you very much indeed.
Do you know what I felt like, Jeff? I'm going to say, it felt as though Alex had just come into my surgery there, and he got himself up on the table, and he just got everything off his chest.
and he certainly did, didn't he? Ollie, the Leeds fan for our Outer Space 11, Orion Giggs, which is pretty good.
Yes, very good.
Jurgen Klingon's man. And Billy in London and Lee in the Isle of Wight both suggest, Stuart, Houston, we have a problem.
That's clever.
It's very good, isn't
clever.
it? Yeah.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.